So these four choices that we just explored, and thank you for exploring them with me. Each of these four choices led me to my fifth choice. So picking up the phone, creating or committing to a two-way agreement, building trust, and creating community prepared me for my fifth choice, which was to embrace my boundless capacity to give love and to receive love. And for me, that was the hardest choice. And so these other four prepared me for that. So I want to get into this a little bit with you. And first, a distinction that I want to make is love as an emotion, which isn't a choice, and love as an action, which is the choice of giving it and we're receiving it. And we've had this conversation. Will you just start us out with what does it feel like when you choose to give your love, to give all of your love, and you choose to receive love in return?
It feels great. And it feels like you feel this deeper level of satisfaction, this deeper level of happiness. But it also begs the question, and you and I talked about that, right? If it feels great when we do it, why do we sometimes withhold love?
Yeah.
So I've sort of reflected on that a little bit, and I think I could crystallize it in one word, which is vulnerability. And so unrequited love implies that you want something in return. And if you fear not receiving it, then you may not give it. And unconditional love is about doing something without expectation. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you're aware of that, but Maslow also said this. He supported the unconditional love perspective by saying that in order to grow, an individual has to have a positive perspective of themselves. And when you're able to do that, you can give unconditional love without that vulnerability. And so, if I crystallize all of that, right, into just saying it doesn't need to be big. It's your everyday interactions that demonstrate that. It's those small acts, those small examples. And as I thought about that, to me, it's also that definition of integrity. So it was C.S. Lewis who said that integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. And to me, that's an example of boundless love. It's advocating for someone when they're not in the room. It's lifting someone up when they don't even realize it. It's having intentional conversations about somebody in a positive context, and they may never hear you utter those words directly to them. And that's an act and a choice that you're making to give love without an expectation that you'll receive something in return. And those are the small examples that I think represent, I think what you're saying. And they don't need to necessarily be big and grandiose, but they have to be intentional and they have to be an act, as you said.
Yes. Oh my God. And even like the small things obviously just hit me. Boom. I'm hit with that because it is so often, if I'm getting in this conversation with multiple people, that sometimes it seems so big and it's really not if we make those small intentional choices. And so that hits me. It feels great to give love and to receive love. And there's so many reasons. I think you nailed the one that I've always dealt with, which is vulnerability. So many reasons why we as a world don't choose to do it every day, with every interaction, with each person that we interact with. But what if we did?
Yeah, I mean, that question is so profound always, but it feels particularly profound today as we look at news on our TVs and radios and social media, and it feels like if we were to experience what you just described, the world would be a better place. So how do we do that? We start with our interactions day to day, and we try and make some modicum of impact on the world by being intentional about all the things that we just talked about.
Imran. Oh, so I will close us with I believe with my whole heart that when we choose to give love and we choose to receive love, like you and I are doing right now, that creates enduring success and fuels the success of those around us. And I thank you for just automatically saying yes to join me today and giving me your love. And I for sure am receiving it wholeheartedly.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I don't know what made me say yes immediately without really thinking about it. But as I reflect on it, it's because of you. It's who you are and your authenticity and your ability to engender that in others, I think was probably the reason why I said yes. So thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to share this with everyone. Thank you for joining me for our Choose and Become interview series. You could find this episode and others at trishkendall.com. Just go to trishkendall.com/choose-become-interview-series. Or if you have a question or just want to leave a comment, email me, trish@trishkendall.com.